You start to get a little frustrated during rush hour. Hey, thanks for stopping by. This is going to be an amazing video, and in this one we're going to talk about with the explosive growth going on. Is Reno, Nevada similar to the new Austin, Texas? Stick around. Stay tuned to find out. Hey everyone, Logan Williamson here, representing Williamson Professional Real Estate Sales. Thank you for stopping by the channel. You already know that this channel is dedicated to everything related to Reno, Nevada. Living here, working here, and basically living your life up here in Reno, Nevada. I know that normally I do these lengthy intros, but we've got a lot to cover here, so let's dive right in. This is gonna be a little bit of a talking head video, so hopefully it's not too boring, but hey, maybe it's good information that'll keep you entertained. By any means, if you're interested in learning more about everything that's going on with the Reno real estate market, I want to talk to you. My contact information is going to be below. Make sure you reach out to me. I'm getting people from all over the world that are contacting me multiple times per day about buying, selling, relocating up here to the Reno area. And if you are considering doing the same, I want to speak with you immediately. Make sure you reach out to me. If you haven't already done so, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you around. But in this one, I want to talk about a big topic that people seem to be resonating with currently, and it's whether or not Reno, Nevada is poised to grow similar to the way Austin, Texas did. Okay, so let's just dive right in. If you've been looking at Reno as your next place to live, you know that the growth up here has been explosive. We've got companies that are moving up to the area. We have infrastructure that is improving and becoming a little bit more efficient based on the rapid growth. You see development in this area absolutely exploding. And what a lot of people are wondering is, what the heck is going on? Is there a similar city in the United States that had a profile that was similar to Reno back when it was a little bit more of an intimate environment compared to what it is now? So if you look at Austin, Texas, back in the 1970s, population of about 250,000, relatively small, relatively intimate, and all of a sudden, tech came. The tech companies moved into the area and everything exploded. Right now, Austin, Texas is one of the hotspot hubs for a lot of tech companies to actually move their HQs or their headquarters over to. I see a lot of my previous colleagues that were over in the Bay Area actually taking their companies, uprooting them, and going to places like Austin, but we're now starting to see the tech coming to Reno. And what does that mean for Reno? What does that look like? What do the numbers look like? Is it going to cause clogs and infrastructure? Is it going to become a miserable place to live over time? Where's the growth actually going to happen? If you know Reno, you know that Reno, the basin, the Truckee Meadows, and the actual Greater Reno Basin is located right inside of what is the Sierra Nevada mountain range and basically a bowl. So where the heck is the growth going to go? Now, there were a lot of folks that are up here in Reno now that actually lived in the Austin, Texas area back in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, and they watched everything grow and expand. And a lot of that growth and expansion happened north and south of the city. Now, up in Reno, there's really nowhere for the growth to actually happen. Let's say 200,000 more people move up to Reno for jobs, for new opportunity, to avoid tax liabilities like over in California. And where are they going to go? Well, the only place they can really go is north and south. North being up into what would be Palomino Valley, Pyramid Lake area, which is really cool. If you're familiar with it, haven't seen it, I suggest you check it out. Or they're going to go south. South being down through Washoe Valley, into Carson City, down into Minden, Gardnerville. But let me tell you a little bit about what's happening here. So in the Greater Reno area, I'm talking about the Truckee Meadows, down into Carson City, everybody that's up in this area, we are pushing 450,000 people right now in 2020, which for anybody that was born and raised in the area like I was, you know that that is massively large compared to what things were. Back when I was a kid, growing up, places like Virginia City, they were never packed. The tourism was just at a minimum. You never felt like you were getting claustrophobic on the highways. The infrastructure was something that was able to basically hold and service all the people that were up here in a very efficient manner. And now things have changed a little bit. You start to get a little frustrated during rush hour when you even, when you're merging onto 395 South from I-80 East, and you have to sit in traffic for a couple minutes when things get congested. But what a lot of folks don't understand is that the growth up here, while explosive, is still so minimal compared to so many places in the country. Literally, Reno is still a place right now where you can get from one side of town to the other in less than 15 minutes, no matter where you're at, in the dead of rush hour traffic, whether that be your morning commute or in the evening during 5 o'clock traffic. you are very seldomly ever at a standstill, and if you are, it's for just a couple seconds at one of the major entrance or exit ramps. People are worried about places like downtown, the freeway intersections with the spaghetti bowl. People are worried that north and south traffic, as people come to the area, is going to get more and more congested, that the freeway is going to become what has been called a parking lot, or was in Austin, Texas during the growth. But it's undeniable. The tech companies are coming up to Reno. That's already happening. That will continue to happen. USA Parkway is the largest industrial parkway in the United States. You can see it from space, as I've alluded to before in previous videos, and it will grow. There is massive room for expansion out there. Now, what is happening up here in Reno is a lot of development. Okay, so you have builders that are coming in, and what the goal is to decrease urban sprawl, meaning they're trying to decrease the number of single-family homes that they're building south and north of town, as well as on the outskirts of town, east and west, because they want to keep the residential areas. They want to have people feel like they have some space, like they have some privacy. So what builders are doing is they're building a lot of high-density developments in the downtown, midtown areas and surrounding areas of downtown and midtown that are going to be the condominiums and the townhome type of living opportunity. But that doesn't mean that with more and more people coming up here that things won't change. Presumably we are going to see a ton of new builds on the south side of town. There's a lot of development going on in the Damani Ranch area. You're going to continue to see things being built in South Reno all the way down through into Washoe Valley. And who knows, 250 or 200,000 more people that come up here over the course of the next decade, and things are going to change with the profile of this area. Is it still going to be a great place to live? In my humble opinion, I think so. I think with the improvements that we've already seen to infrastructure downtown, where the freeways do intersect, where we've seen the highway expand near the Spaghetti Bowl, and certainly with what we've seen on the south side of town on the way out to Carson City with the improved infrastructure, it just seems to me like we can easily handle hundreds of thousands more people up here in Reno. Now, I know this is going to be a very controversial topic for everybody, but being up here in this area, I actually appreciate the growth. We're seeing a lot of diversity when it comes to new restaurants, new nightlife. The casinos are thriving. Even though there's been changes in ownership, things are going very, very well up here. And I encourage more and more people to start coming up here, whether it be for work opportunities or simply, like I mentioned before, for the tax opportunities up here with there being no state income tax in Nevada. It's an incredible place to be. Yes, of course, up here we support local business, and we'd love for all the businesses to be locally owned. We'd love to support the local economy here. But the fact of the matter is, when there's rapid growth in any area, there are going to be people that recognize that opportunity, that start to leverage business ownership here, and maybe they are not local. That's already happening. We're seeing restaurant ownership. We're seeing ownership from people that are out of state and from out of town basically build their businesses here simply because they do see that opportunity for a huge customer base with all the new folks that are flocking to the area. Again, in my opinion, it's been a great thing. The options in the Midtown area for food and for things to do, it's just been incredible for Reno. We will continue to see more and more diversity as time goes on. I think it will force people to expand their mindset and their mentality, bringing new people to the area, bringing diversity to the area. You know, I personally don't think Reno is ever going to be as robust with diversity as a place like San Francisco or any sort of international hub or city like that. But the fact of the matter is, it is growing here. And it may never be on the level of an actual Austin, Texas, or a Denver, but Reno is a very nice little sweet spot. It's not called the biggest little city in the world for no reason. And for those of you that have not heard that Reno is called the biggest little city in the world, it's a very interesting little saying. Reno still does have a very small town feel, but what you'll also feel if you've been up in the area and spent some time up here is you'll notice that it also does have a little bit of a big city feel too. Who knows what the future is going to bring? As of now, we've seen Switch, we've seen Tesla, we've seen Amazon, we've seen Walmart, we've seen Apple, we've seen all these different companies start to come up to this area. They've brought jobs, they've brought a lot of people. Some people think they've brought a lot of congestion and a lot of unwanted stress, but honestly, it's brought a whole lot of economic development to this area and economic stimulus. A lot of folks are embracing it up here, and the reason why people are a little bit shocked up here in Reno is because this was once a pretty lackluster college town where the University of Nevada, Reno, and a couple companies were really the claim to fame up here in Reno. Now we're seeing this big tech surge come up into the area. Tech is really taking over the profile. It's becoming more of a distribution center as opposed to being a gaming-centric city. And absolutely amazing to see the growth here with the railway that is so accessible to all of these companies. They're going to keep coming up here. And what I will tell you right now, what I would invite you to do is get as much information about this area as you can before making any sort of a real estate purchasing decision. And I have people from all over the world that are contacting me. Some of them want to rent first. If you want to rent first, I can help you. I'm one of the very few real estate agents that has resources to get you into a great rental quickly. So make sure you contact me about that. But if you're interested in a purchase, what we're going to want to do is put you through the pre-qualification process to see exactly what type of a price point you can qualify to purchase. And from there, we can start researching what neighborhoods are safe for your family, what are some of the areas you want to live in based on lifestyle, and what is overall going to be the best neighborhood and the best fit for you once you do move up here. I've had clients that have purchased homes sight unseen after we've done virtual tours and walkthroughs. I've had clients that have come out for a weekend where we've done full tours on Saturday and Sunday, and they've ultimately made the decision to put in an offer before they go back home, and we close escrow without them being here, and then they get mailed their keys. I've done all sorts of different things with clients that are looking at real estate up here because I know that the process can be somewhat daunting if you are in a different demographic location or geographic location and you're trying to buy a house up here. If you want to basically build your equity in a home and you understand the value of purchasing as opposed to renting and how powerful that can be, especially in a market like Reno, which is presumably going to show some appreciation in home prices over the course of the next decade, I would love the opportunity to speak with you about that. Again, my contact information is going to be below. It's going to be in this video. And geez, contact me if you are interested in learning more about the area. I want to talk to you about how old your kids are. I want to talk to you about what you're looking for in your next home, what your lifestyle is. If you want to be very close in proximity to a place like South Lake Tahoe, if you want to be right next to the kayak park near the river, if you want a really quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of town that you have to drive a little ways out to get to, I want to know exactly what is going to be the best fit for you, but that starts with a conversation. What I want you to know is that Reno is a robust area. It could be a great place for you to live. I've got people that are looking at places like Las Vegas. I've got people that are looking at places like Denver, like Arizona, and ultimately a lot of them end up moving to Reno simply because it's a very nice sweet spot. I hope everybody thought this information was valuable. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video. Contact me immediately if you are considering buying or selling a home here in Reno. I can't wait to talk to you soon. It's been a pleasure having you here. Make sure you stick around because the next one's coming soon.